Can you guys hear me? Not. I think the connection is kind of not great, but let's wait for 30 seconds for people to join in. It's kind of the last minute. I wasn't gonna do this, but I thought, why not? Let's do a live stream event tonight during the Fraser River pink salmon fishing season. If you can hear me, leave a comment in the chat. So I'm not just talking to myself. Okay, so here we go. Okay. There's bugs around. Hello, everybody. Good, can you hear me? So I actually just filmed an episode earlier today down here in Richmond, fishing for pink salmon. And it's hot today. It feels like 35 degrees. I was sweating bullets to get some fish. And now I moved to a different location, just kind of winding down the day. The tide is still kind of coming in. We've got a pretty big incoming tide tonight. And theoretically, we should be seeing a lot of fish coming in, but didn't really see that many fish today. It was kind of on and off. Had a few waves of fish coming by and caught about half a dozen pink salmon. And yeah, it wasn't hot, but it was still enough to have quite a bit of action. So yeah, let's wait for a little bit more. More people coming. Okay, no rain, no fish. Well, this part of the Fraser, down here in Richmond towards the estuary, it really isn't how the fishing isn't it's not dependent on rain. It's entirely tide dependent. So look how much water there is, right? So it really doesn't matter how much rain we're having. The salmon are coming into the system because of the tide. So whenever we get a big incoming tide, like right now, we should be seeing fish coming through here. So you time your outings down here based on tide, not rain, not time of the day, first light, last light. Not really. I've caught all kinds of fish, all kinds of salmon during the day down here, as long as the tide is correct, which is, look, airplane, which is 3 to 4 hours before the tide peaks. So when the tide is moving, that's pushing fishing. Yeah, and sometimes during the beginning of the outgoing tide, once the tide peaks, it's also good. So, yeah, so how are we gonna do this? I think I'm gonna make some casts. I did have one bite before, and I thought, well, okay, let's do a live stream, and maybe we can get a fishing. So while I'm doing casting, I won't be able to read the questions, but keep the questions coming in the chat. I'll come back to the chat every, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes and just scroll through the chat and answer your questions. And that's what we're gonna do today, just kind of answering your questions on this fishery. Okay, all right, let's go. Let's do this, wasting time here. Ugh. How are we gonna do this? Maybe what'll be funny is me dropping the phone, the camera, in the water while going live. This looks okay, right? Let's go up a little bit. Okay, let's do some casts. Hopefully we'll get one. Yeah, I like that framing. Look at that. So targeting pink salmon today, which are going through right now, it is peak, it's supposed to be peak time for pink salmon right now. just casting and retrieving a spoon. That's my favorite. You can use spinners, you can use jigs, you can fly fish for them. But for the last 30 years on these rocks, I've been casting and retrieving spoons and caught lots of pinks, lots of coho, and the Tidal Fraser down here in Richmond is one of my favorite places to fish. I spent hours back in the mid to late 90s, early 2000s on a daily basis when I didn't have a job, just fishing, just spending so much time scouting every single kilometers on the entire shoreline. Not just fishing for salmon, but also trout, cutthroat trout, bull trout in the springtime. Yeah, it's very, very productive, very fun. And to be fishing in this urbanized area without having to travel very far, it's pretty convenient. Of course, it's nice to get away and fish somewhere else, but imagine you can just come down here after work, after school, make a few casts. So, okay. I don't know if we're gonna get fish, so no promises. I haven't seen that many fish rising. The sturgeon just jumped. Usually you can spot the pinks coming in. They usually do this, they'll come up and show their backs, but I haven't seen that many fish. I've seen the odd fish. I had one bite earlier, about 15 minutes ago. So who knows? Sometimes you don't see them at all and they'll be biting. And other times you can see so many fish on the surface and they just wouldn't bite. And then there are a typical pink day is when you see quite a few surfacing and you're also getting a lot of bites. So as I mentioned, this pink salmon is, well, because the life cycle is so short, it's 2 years, they're the smallest Pacific salmon species, get up to 4 pound, maybe 6 pound max, 7 pound maybe. So, and it's a very kid-friendly species. So, you know, parents bringing kids down here, bring a little trout rod, medium rod, and you can just cast and retrieve spoons for these fish. And they're pretty aggressive. They'll chase down just about anything when they're around. So yeah, it's a what we call an entry-level species. You know, you try it, then you get into other salmon species from there, right? And that's how I did it. I got into pink salmon fishing back in 1995, 30 years ago, and eventually, once pink was done, start fishing with coho, start fishing with chum salmon in freshwater. Eventually, broaden my options to saltwater chinooks, and yeah, it's just a good entry-level fish, introductory fish, I should say. So we're just casting and retrieving spoon, and it's not just casting and reeling. I'm letting it sink for a few seconds before I start retrieving. And your retrieve speed shouldn't be like really fast, but like slow, but not too slow, so you're not dragging the bottom. Little pike needle just jumped. But like I say, don't know if we're gonna get fish, but this is more of a Q&A session. I'm always looking around for risers as well. You know, instead of just looking down, just always look around, looking for fish surfacing. Sometimes you see one come up on the surface. That means there's probably like a whole bunch beneath it. Nothing. Okay, I see a few questions coming in. Keep typing them out. No. I'll come over there in 1 minute to answer some questions. Actually, I'll wait until there's a tugboat coming. It's gonna make some waves. So we'll wait for the tugboat to get here and then we'll answer the questions. Make a couple more casts. See how slow I'm going? Sometimes you gotta, because water clarity is not great here in the Fraser. Visibility is in about 1.5 feet. You gotta keep the retrieve slow so they can actually see it. If you go too fast, you know, the amount of time that lure going by them is too fast. They don't have a chance to chase it down. High tide is about, for Vancouver, is about 5 o'clock this afternoon. I'm up at, this is Queensborough, it's not a secret. So the tide is usually about an hour behind, an hour and a half behind. So it's peaking pretty much now, and it will start going down soon. So the further upstream you go in the Fraser, the more time you got to add to that tide schedule. Okay, tugboat's almost here. I'll finish this cast and I'll come look at your questions. I keep seeing chat bubbles popping up, so unless we get a fish on this cast. Nope. Okay, let's see what you got there. Stay. Okay, see your questions. Give me 1 second to read. Look at the tugboat. Okay, I can't see this with my sunglasses. Okay, hold on 1 sec. Gosh, there's so many questions. Gotta scroll right up. So send the GPS coordinates. It's not a secret where I am. Okay, so here's a good question. So exactly, so far, not a whole lot of fish seen, couple caught. There's actually a lot of pink salmon have already gone through the Fraser, surprisingly. Typically, this first week of September is prime time for them, but it seems like a lot of fish came through last week. And so far, in Michigan, there's a hydroacoustic counter that's estimating how many fish are going through every day. And in the past 2 weeks or so, about 7 million fish have already gone through. Airplane. And another 1 million fish have been harvested by, recreational anglers, commercial First Nations. The current estimate for this season for the pink salmon is 12.5 million fish. It's been revised. It was 27 million fish at one point, which I thought was kind of outrageous, but it's 12.5 million, which is still above average, which is more reasonable. So you're looking at, there's about 4 to 5 million fish still to come into the Fraser. which is still a lot of fish. But it seems like, yeah, the fishing was excellent last week, and then just kind of that was peaking, and now we're seeing less fish coming now. But who knows? You never know what's gonna happen. Um, I'm not gonna say exactly where I am. You can figure that out. Right? It's not a secret. So, oh my goodness, there's so many questions, and thank you everyone for checking in. By the way, thank you everyone for checking out the last episode. We had 20,000 views, which is amazing. There's another episode going up well, not tomorrow, probably Friday. I probably can't get it done by tomorrow, so Friday. This is North Arm. That I'll say that part. So typically South Arm tends to get more fish coming through than North Arm. I like fishing North Arm just because sometimes, like today, for example, we have a bit of a southwesterly wind. So I was fishing a South Arm earlier, and the wind was coming right into my face. And me being like to be pampered, so I moved to North Arm now, so the wind's coming from the back. So, oh gosh, so many questions. I gotta like focus here. Yes, I've done quite a few live streams in the past. Sometimes we catch fish, sometimes we don't, and that's just the nature of live stream, right? Hold on. Hello from Toronto. Hello. I've been catching so many pings at number 3 road pier. Yep, that whole area was pretty good today. Waves of pink salmon came in. So we got fish whenever fish are coming through. So, okay. Sorry that you're staring at my face this whole time. So, okay. Hold on a sec. Can I do a Chinook salmon video on how to catch them? There are quite a few Chinook salmon videos on my channel, both freshwater and saltwater. You should go check it out. Float fishing with bait or soft beads for Chinook salmon in freshwater and trolling in saltwater. So tide is important all the way up to Chilliwack, believe it or not. The tide actually can impact the water level all the way up to Hope. One of my good friends, an old timer many years ago, told me that he actually caught a flounder up around Hope. This is going many years ago now. So the tide, even on the Veda Canal, you'll see it. If you go fish the Veda Canal, the Sumas River, the water level is affected by the tide, and the fishing in all those tributaries is affected by the tide as well, even though the entire system is designated as freshwater. So, yeah, so if you're fishing on Surrey, Langley, Mission, its tide is very, very important. And one of the ways to check tide around Mission is by going to the hydrograph, which is the provincial water level website. And there is a meter in Mission that you can check. And if you look at the graph, you can see the water actually goes up and down every day. So tide peaks around Richmond at 7 a.m. When will the tide peak around Chilliwack? Usually I ask 6 hours, okay? But it's not always the same. It depends on how big or small the tide is. So I'm gonna put this down in a minute and go make some more casts again. So, okay, I think that's all the questions. So, okay, let's put this down. We're gonna make some more casts. I hear a fish jump, so let's see if we can get one. One of the biggest fish I ever caught. Caught a white sturgeon that's 7 feet, almost broke my back. Okay, that looks good. So I made one mistake today. So I forgot to bring my net, forgot to bring my landing net. I feel like I'm missing an arm when it's so important to have a net here when you're standing on rocks. It makes landing fish so much easier and makes catching and releasing fish a lot safer as well. I'm not using a Tasmanian devil. Fishes came up. I'm just using a 1/4 ounce spoon, the no-name brand spoon with the pink tape on it. And pink salmon are not super picky, so you just gotta find whatever works. Don't always pay attention to what other people are using, but any pink, orange, chartreuse spoons will work, or spinners, or jigs. Okay, we'll keep the questions coming, and I'll come back again in 10 minutes. We'll focus on the fishing for now. This is a G-Loomis GCX spinning rod, 9 foot long. Bit of an overkill for pink salmon, but it's an awesome rod. But it's also $500, so I don't expect anyone getting into salmon fishing go out and buy a $500 spinning rod. There are many other options, many other good options as well, and that's where the next episode comes in later on Friday. It's actually going to be an episode on using 5 different rods, different lengths, different action to show you which one is good for pink salmon, and they'll come in different price points as well. Okay. You guys know how hard it is to get a bite during live stream? We've done this year at Lac de June, at Kaika Sound. I think both live streams we got like 1 or 2 fish. But I had a feeling, but during those 2 live streams, I was pretty confident I would get fish. Today, not so much. It's just because I haven't seen any fish yet. But you never know. And if we don't, maybe we'll do another pink salmon live stream next week. So this whole thing casting my right hand and reeling my right hand as well, don't do that. It's a bad habit. It's just something I picked up 40 years ago, and I've been doing it ever since. I'm used to it, but yeah, it's not great. I don't recommend it. When I first got here, I did have a pretty good tap that was definitely a pink salmon. He came back 3 times and didn't commit to it. So I thought, well, maybe let's do a live stream. Maybe we can get one. I was also thinking about wearing my GoPro chest mount and just have my phone hanging right here so I can actually read the comments while fishing and while you're staring at the rod. So maybe we'll do that as well in a bit. Just I'll go put on that chest mount, but really hope that some fish will come through. I also have some fish I have 1 fish in the cooler, and we can go look at that in a minute when we get desperate. I wish the chat is like audio enabled, so the phone is speaking out all the questions, so I can actually just answer them right now. It's too bad I don't have someone here with me to read out the questions. Even though we don't see any fish going by, there are always salmon going by. That's my belief, anyways. I've been here on days when there are just no fish showing on the surface and still catching lots of fish. And I will show you my spoon in a bit as well when I finish this session right here. So targeting these fish, it's not the same as fishing for salmon in the tributaries like the Tidal River. You're fishing for fish that are constantly migrating. They're coming in from the ocean, so they're not stopping here. They're just swimming right through. So that's why we're not moving. We're just staying in one spot, casting, retrieving, repeating the same process over and over again. And your hope is that the fish are going by, eventually you'll intercept them. Some people may think that's kind of the boring way to fish. I absolutely love it. Really love it because you're fishing for the freshest fish that are just coming in from the ocean. Some of the hardest fighting coho ever caught is from down here. And these pink salmon are the freshest you can get as well, besides catching them in the ocean. So because you're not moving around and you're just fishing one spot, casting, retrieving, the entire shoreline can accommodate a lot of people. And because there's no current, there's really no tangles. Everyone's casting straight, as long as everyone's casting straight, and which makes this a pretty good social event. You can come down, fish, and socialize with friends, families, make new friends. It's, over the years, I've had lots of great memories down here. Is this boring to you guys? Just watching me cast and retrieve? Hope not. I know you're waiting for that fish on, but we'll see. So adjusting this retrieve speed is very important, and it's based on also the current of the river as well. This current changes throughout the tide. In the middle of the incoming, it gets pretty fast, and then when the tide is close to peak, the current slows down. So you have to adjust your retrieve speed for sure. Okay, one more cast and I'll come read the questions again. So start writing down the questions. Power Pro 15-pound test. Love this line. Been using this line since 2014. Switched from monofilament to braided line. Never going back. It's so much better. You feel more bites. You lose less fish because there's no stretch. I feel I've been doing like spinning for salmon for the last 30 years, but I feel like the last 10 years I've definitely have made quite a few adjustments, and that has improved the setup and landing ratios. I'm doing a live stream actually, so yeah, yeah, it's you're live. How's the fishing? Good. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I was at Southam earlier too, and we got into quite a few fish. And yeah, yeah. But it wasn't as good as I hoped it would be. It was kind of like not as many fish going through today. I thought. So yeah. No, it's been slow, right? Yeah. 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 Okay. I gotta read. I got questions coming on the phone. I gotta read them and answer them right now. So, all right. Let's see the next batch of. Okay. Let's see the questions. Are salmon less likely to bite when there's a lot of boat activities? So there is a tugboat coming by right now behind me, and funny enough, at this spot, in the past, I've actually every time there's a tugboat coming by, we always get bites, especially fishing for cold salmon, and it became so common that it was not a coincidence anymore. So I don't know what it is. So sometimes, yeah, boat triggers bites. Do I normally smoke my pink salmon? I don't. So you know what I've been doing? I've been filleting my fish and putting the fillets into the barbecue, and we'll season the fish first, and cook them up. Then I take the fillets out from the barbecue, remove the flesh from the skin, put all the meat into a bowl, and mix it up with mayo, mustard, and other spices, and just kind of like mix it up, and makes. I made a dip out of it last week, and the kids absolutely love it. I loved it. Put it on sandwiches, and it was amazing. Pink salmon, the flavor of the meat is pretty mild, so I feel like it's a good good meat for it. I don't tie my hook onto my lure. I don't use the trailer hook on my spoon. So here's what I use. Okay, let's see. So this is my no brand spoon, and I'm using this is a sickle hook, open eye #1 sickle hook. This is my favorite hook to replace all the spoon hooks that come in the package. So that's what I use, and I find I don't lose a lot of fish with the sickle hook. So, all right, this wave's coming through again. We're gonna wait and mustard on sand. Hey Justin, you have to try it. It's pretty good. Trust me. So pink salmon tastes like mud, gross. Well, more for me. Whatever. um, I'm making my fishing YouTube video. Do I have any tips? Putting the time to edit, like just keep going. You edit, produce the videos, put it up, and just repeat the process over and over again. And over time, you'll improve it. I have to smoke it. Yeah, eventually I'll smoke pink salmon, I think. I just, it's a lot of work. I don't have very much time. So, okay, going back, I'm just scrolling up to see the questions right now. Thoughts on fishing for salmon in Boundary Bay, like area 29-8. So I was actually thinking about that 2 days ago. I don't know anything about it. So, and I don't know anyone who fishes down there. And maybe someone can comment below to let me know. Alex says just caught his first pink salmon over the weekend. Awesome. It's I've been getting a lot of success stories. I'm happy to hear that. What techniques do I use to try and fish close to the bottom? So I let my spoon sink for a period of time, maybe like 5 seconds or more, and I slow down my retrieve to keep the spoon down near the bottom. Not on the bottom, near the bottom. How is the fishing for pinks down at number 2 rope here? That area, surprisingly, it's closed for pink salmon fishing, by the way. It sits in a sub area that's not open for salmon fishing. And it's kind of frustrating because it should be redesignated. And so we can have more open access from shore. Because that number 2 rope here, Gary Point, it's a good salmon fishing locations, and it's not open, which is a pity. So my favorite tide to fish in rivers versus ambleside. I have no idea what that means. My favorite tide to fish ambleside is low tide. There's another tugboat coming in, so you get to stare at my face some more. Here, actually, you know what? I'll turn it around so you can look at it. So wait for that tugboat to go by, wait for these waves to go by before we start casting again. Have I hit the Veta lately? No, I haven't even gone down there yet because I don't know, there's fish to be caught down here. Well, there were. So okay, scrolling up. What size rooster tail spinner do I use for salmon? I don't use rooster tails for salmon. I find them to be too light, and I don't like the blade on the rooster tail that much. Okay. Since I bought the bouncings, they already catch sockeye salmon. Why do sockeye salmon don't bite? Anything? Okay, so here's the thing. Sockeye salmon will bite. How do I phrase this? Here in the Tidal Fraser River, for about 15 years, we spent a lot of time fishing for sockeye salmon, and out of those 15 years, chucking spoon spinners, hoochies, bait fishing under the float, fly fishing, I've caught a grand total of 1 sockeye salmon. It's very, very hard. In freshwater, sockeye salmon do bite, but since the Fraser River is so murky, it's pretty hard to entice them. Yeah, if you're fishing in tributaries, sockeye salmon will bite anything under the float. Beads, bait, krill, shrimp, you name it. I've caught quite a few. Yeah, Arlo, good to meet me at the river today. Yeah, nice to meet you. That was funny because I was about to leave thinking that the fishing has died. Then Arlo got a fish today. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stay another 15 minutes and I got 3 more fish, so. Keep swimming up. Okay, here's a good one. How does the bite feel from a pink? Pink bites are pretty lazy. They tend, quite often they'll tap, and quite often you feel like you're kind of dragging the hook on the bottom. So, but other times, today, I had one fish that just smashed it. and that was actually quite amazing. So hey, 209 people watching. That's quite amazing. So I feel the pressure to produce a fish, but I don't know if we're gonna be able to do it. We'll get back to fishing in a minute. I keep losing track on prime lure spinners are amazing. I agree. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's go see my fish. That's what we do. Okay. All right. Oh, can't catch fish. I'm gonna see fish. Try to open my tailgate. Okay. Oh, my knees, my knees. Okay. Look at this poor little thing. It was so hot today, I had to give it an ice bath. Female pink salmon. Very, I don't know, I like that size for eating. So, yeah. Always, always have a cooler full of ice to keep your pink salmon fresh because it's so easy to spoil. Someone mentioning the trouble with hooking ups. It could be a hook issue. Might want to change your hook. I need to get 3 more. Yeah. Well, I really released a few today. I honestly just wanted to keep one fish to eat. So, what weight of lure would I recommend for the Fraser? Someone you've been using half ounce to 3/4 ounce. It's way too heavy. 1/4 ounce is what you want to use. Okay. Half ounce, half on the 3/4 ounce will bring that lure down to the bottom pretty fast, and you can't get a proper retrieve. Okay. No, I'm not switching lures. I believe my lure works. Don't worry about that. So going back to making more casts. And then we'll come back to the questions again shortly. 203 people watching. Perfect. Okay. All right. The tide is turning now. It's kind of stationary. I find that when the tide is stationary, they actually don't bite very well. And when the tide starts going down again, that's when they start biting. It's not exactly what you want to hear. Oh, I see one pink salmon rolled out there. Too far out, but let's see what happens. Maybe I'll stream until sunset. I feel like this spot, it doesn't get a big push of fish like South Arm, but I just have this feeling that anytime I'm here, there's always a chance of getting something. So we'll just wait and see. This rod casts so nice. It's like I can get it so far out. And it feels pretty weird when there's 200 people watching me fish. So much pressure. You just need one fish to go by. This one pink salmon just came up right beside my lure. Getting a little excited actually. And we'll come back to the crushings in a minute. Well, in a few minutes. Let me do a few more casts. Yeah, definitely seeing more. There's more fish rolling now. So that's kind of promising. I like. Feels fishy. Feels kind of fishy. So if you missed the numbers I was presenting earlier, the Fraser River pink salmon run size has been revised. The current estimate is 12.5 million fish, which is quite a bit lower than what they first predicted, which is 27 million fish. So a little bit off, but still a lot of fish, 12.5 million fish. So far, they've estimated about 7 million fish have already gone through meshing, and 1 million fish have been harvested by commercial recreational fishermen, First Nations. So that's 8 million fish. So that leaves about 4 to 5 million fish still to come from Georgia Strait into the Fraser River in the next 2 weeks. Hi, I'm doing a live stream right now. That's okay. That's okay. All right, you guys should fish. Yeah. Yeah, more people come here to fish, which is great. So on a daily basis, every day, roughly around 500,000 fish are going through the Fraser. It feels like today there's less fish going through, but we'll check the numbers tonight. It's a lot of fish, though. Even there's hundreds of thousands of fish going by, should be able to catch one, right? All right. A few more casts will come look at questions. A few big fish are jumping out there. I think there's a sturgeon just jumped. Could be a chinook. More activities now. Oh, who knew pink salmon fishing can be that tough? But hopefully that makes. I know a lot of you have messaged me saying that you haven't caught one yet, so now you don't have to feel so bad. You got to put in the time. Some days are just tough. Come on, fish. We'll make one more cast, then I'll look at the questions. Actually, a few more casts because I'm seeing some rises. So the tide is shifting downstream, just starting, which is a good thing. Sometimes, like I mentioned earlier, when the tide stops, when it peaks, the fishing tends to be slow, but once it starts moving down again, that's when sometimes the bites will pick up. A few more. Hooks is, yeah, that's fine. Another tugboat coming down, so we'll answer those questions when the tugboat gets here. Okay, I think I can squeeze in one more cast. Is everyone still watching? One more cast. Okay. Sucks. Fishing sucks. Okay, what have you been talking about me behind my back here? Let's see. Oh, 243 people watching now. Jeez. This is disappointing you guys. Do I ever go to two-bit bar? I have before, but not recently. Just because there's so many places to go and, you know, too many places to visit, too little time. Crankbait salmon, it does work sometimes for coho and all that. It's got to be the right condition though. These pinks, pinks in the ocean will take top water crankbaits and stuff, but pinks in going through the Fraser, they don't really take lures near the surface. So someone's asking, is it coming to fish for sturgeon with a guide? And afterwards, we want to do some pink salmon fishing, don't know where to go. That question is best answered in a DM. So if you send me a message, I can probably help you out. So yeah, having a really hard time fishing the north arm just up from the mouth. I can relate. 236 people watching still. Sorry, I'm disappointing all of you that I'm not catching fish. I knew it wasn't gonna be. I knew it was gonna be challenging. So, but we might do another one another time. Cool. Okay, you guys are funny. Sorry, staring at my face again. Actually, I'm gonna turn around so you can look at the water. So, don't know if we're gonna catch one today. We'll see. Okay, I think that's all the questions I have there. So, let me get back. Let me get back to fishing here. Do you like the rest? To rest the water and wait to see if they start rolling. Well, over here the fish are always moving, so you just got to keep casting. I'm not casting right now because I'm answering questions, but to catch fish in the Tidal Fraser, you just have to keep going at it. Is time of the day important? Nope. This fishery is entirely tide dependent. So let's get back to fishing. Yeah, incoming tide is best. It doesn't matter if it's middle of the day or what. Yeah, the Tacoma this is a 24 Tacoma. Love it. Okay, let's do some more casts and see if we can get a fish.
Sorry, I don't want to bother you. I know you're in live. Can
Yeah.
I have a picture with you?
Can we do that afterwards?
Yeah,
Or
sure.
yeah.
All right.
That's okay. Yeah. Or if you come down here, we'll do it right now. Okay, someone wants a selfie, so we're gonna do a selfie and yeah, I don't want to take up your time too, so yeah, that's okay. Yeah,
This is
you're not the
Sockeye, the legend.
you're
Catch
not
of the day.
you're not
Catch of the year.
right.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, sure. And again, thanks so much for all your
Yeah, you're welcome.
tips
Yeah, no, thanks
your
thanks for
concern
supporting.
about
Yep,
our
yep,
fisheries and
yeah.
all
Okay,
that
where should I
good
stand?
etiquette.
I'll stand right here.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Legend. Okay, another one.
All right.
How about you?
Perfect. Yeah.
Both of you, please. If you don't mind. Just last one.
Okay, just one.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Yeah, welcome.
I'm the one new.
All right. Got it.
Last one. Thank you, Rod.
Okay, you're welcome. Yep. Okay, no problem. Okay, back to fishing.
I'm the one who sent you that YouTube.
Well, okay, yep. All right, so let's see. I can't see what you guys are talking about, so don't. Okay, I'll read it later. And you know what? I love the interactions. Pretty thankful for the support. That pretty much all of the interactions that I've had over the years has been positive. So it's quite a privilege to be doing this. It's always fun. Got to keep it fun. So. But I don't know if we're gonna catch a fish today. There's about a dozen. You can't see it behind me. There's nobody fishing. There's about a dozen people fishing on the other, like in front of me, and none of us have caught anything yet. So, and all these people are fishing downstream from me, and if the fish are coming up, they will be the ones catching them first. But I haven't seen anything yet. That makes me feel a little better. If they're catching and I'm not, then something is wrong. Huh. This water is murkier than other years too, so I just started making. I'm making excuses now. Definitely harder for the fish to see this year. That said, some years I fished here when the water is literally brown, like visibility is down to a couple inches, and I would still catch fish. Ay, ay, ay. So Stratic 2500, I'm just running out of stuff to talk about. Stratic 2500, HG, my favorite go-to reel for salmon fishing, for spin casting. I just sold two of these. They were from 2018, and they were still like they're like brand new. These ones are from this year, so 25, and yeah, really nice. But a Shimano Naski is also good. If you don't fish very much, you just want to get out a couple times a year. Sedona is a pretty good reel as well. That's what my kids use. Retail roughly around $100. The Stratic's about 300 plus tax. So you can kind of tell where I am based on the flight path down to YVR. I'll come and answer some more questions in a little bit. So, yeah, so Stratic 2500, G-Lumas GCX spinning rod. If you do a lot of fishing, you want to go with something that's pretty durable, and this is what I'll recommend. For the rod, you're definitely paying for luxury. It's a super nice rod to use. It's so light, so sensitive. But if you just fishing for pinks a couple times every 2 years, a cheap setup is also good enough. And I'll be putting out an episode Friday which shows that to you. And when you're retrieving spoons, but I mentioned this in the last episode, you definitely want to keep your rod tip down. This is so that you have enough room to strike when the fish bite, but also to keep the lure parallel to the river bottom when you're retrieving it. One more, and it's Q&A time. Okay, let's see what you got there. What have you been talking over? Almost slipped in front of the camera. Crap. Well, there's still 244 people watching. You guys are so patient. Yes, the run size has been downgraded, so it's at 12.5 million fish now. Could be a little bit more. It might be revised again. So yeah, it's not the 27 million fish that they first predicted, which I thought it was pretty outrageous anyways. 12.5 million fish is still a lot of fish, still above average. How many people switch to a jig? Maybe you guys would switch to a jig. I personally don't like using jigs very much. So okay. Yes, back to my old hood. This is let the man fish. Okay. Yeah, selfie time. Okay, so I don't see a whole lot of questions, more chit chat. Okay, here's a good question. I'm gonna read these questions and memorize them, and then go back to fishing again, and then I'll answer them while I fish. So, okay, all right. Okay, let's go back and I'll answer some questions here. Okay, when's a good time to go fish on the Veda for coho and chinooks? It's open now. It's there are chinooks in the river now. There are definitely coho in the river as well. But the river being so low, it's always very challenging this time of the year. It's very hit and miss. If you dedicate it, if you really want to challenge, yeah, go fish the Veda right now. But the prime time for Veda River fishing is definitely late September, early October, and it can be good throughout October all the way into November as well. Once the water comes up, once you get some rain, that's when the fishing starts picking up. So why not change the lure if I'm not getting any nibbles? Because these fish are not, it's not like fishing in the tributary where the fish are holding and they get selective. We're fishing for fish that are migrating through the Fraser River. So any given time when you're casting out, you're fishing for new fish. These fish are not picky. The challenge is actually having fish in front of you. If the fish are not there, which I believe they are there right now, then you're not gonna get any bites. So, whereas if I'm fishing in an actual river, in the tributary, where I can see the fish and stuff, and they're not biting, they get shy, I definitely will switch up to different presentations. But yeah, but over the years, you know, I fished this river for so many seasons. Pretty much have an idea what would work and when I would get fish. And that sounds a little arrogant, but that's just based on my experience. Of course, I don't know everything, but I have a pretty good idea. I also know that even though we're not seeing any fish right now, that any time it could easily pick up before dark. Had that happen before, just quiet, all of a sudden fish start showing up and getting them left and right. What was the other question? Someone was asking about fishing spots. Honestly, it doesn't matter where you fish on the Fraser. It just comes down to timing. As I mentioned in the last episode, this is a good spot, but if you're here at the wrong time, it's not a very good spot. If you're here 6 hours earlier when the tide was low, it's not a very good spot. You get to see a beautiful sunset in a little bit as a consolation prize. So we've got another tugboat coming up, so there's going to be more waves. And once it gets here, I'll come over and read some more questions. I might wrap it up then. Um, don't want you to waste your time now. Or 240 of you. All right. Might be able to get one more cast in before the waves. And that might be it. Okay, here comes the waves. Okay, hold on one sec. Let's read the questions. Ugh. All right. Still 240 of you watching. So patient. What are some tips for finding spots? Google Maps. On my website, for the Tidal River, on my website, there is a Tidal Fraser River page where there's a list of locations as well you can check out, and just drive around. You know, this particular spot back in 1995, I just happened to drive by in October, and two old timers were fishing for coal right here, and I got curious, and that's how it got started. So driving around helps a lot as well. You got to put in the legwork. I would flip any orange or pink spoons right now in the Fraser. Chrome does work, but I feel that because the river is so quite murky right now, pink and orange stand out more than just having a silver lure. Is it fair to compare pinks to coho when it comes to eating them? Well, what do you mean? Like, they both taste very different. Many will say pink, the quality of pink is not as good, but like I mentioned earlier, there are recipes that I've done with pinks that actually taste just really delicious. Oh, someone sent me $10. Thank you so much. It's that's the first time someone actually donated money. Well, thank you. Now I can get home. Where am I fishing? This is North Down. Don't come here. There's no fish. So. Have I done much fishing in the Chehalis River? Is it good for coho and Chinooks? It's good for coho for sure. I haven't, just because I live right by the Veda River, so I don't have to travel very far. Being a dad of two kids, I don't have a whole lot of time to go elsewhere unless I'm on a filming trip, so I tend to just fish the Veda all the time. Getting skunked live. That's right. But I answered a whole bunch of questions for you, so. Are waders essential for fishing on the Veda in the fall? I would say so. Not so much for wading in the water. I prefer not to wade very much. I actually get somewhat, not scared, just very cautious when it comes to wading in water. Unless I really have to, I prefer to stand out of water. But having waders keeps you dry, keeps you warm. And also, if you get a fish and you need to release the fish, you can get in the water to release the fish safely as well. So, I'll answer a few more questions here. Hold on one sec. Okay, I gotta scroll up. This chat here is kind of annoying. It keeps bouncing back to the newest one every time I let my finger go. So I gotta like. Oh, okay. This is a good one. Is casting distance important? Depends. If the fish are rolling, if the fish is jumping pretty far out, yes, casting distance is pretty important. But for the most part, on the Tidal Fraser, I find that most of the pink salmon I caught very, very close to shore. Even when fishing for coho salmon during the coho season, when it used to be opened, we would catch coho salmon within 10, 20 feet in front of us. When I look at the tide tape information to figure out when I need to fish, do I base that off Vancouver? I look at the Vancouver tide, then I add time to it. So maybe like 1 hour in Richmond, 2 3 hours in Langley, Mission, and so on. What's the strangest catch I've gone while fishing for pinks. I've caught a crayfish. I've snagged a sturgeon on a dorsal fin once many years ago. What else have I caught? I caught a chinook before while fishing for pinks down here. I caught nothing. Oh, I caught largemouth bass many years ago now, like maybe 20 years ago now, while fishing for pinks. What's the setup? So let's go through this closely then. So Shimano Stratic 2500 HG. It's got 15-pound braided 15-pound braided Power Pro line on it, which is equivalent to about 6-pound test monofilament. Very, very thin, makes casting very easy, and it's very, very strong. This rod is a G Loomis. Oh, you know what? I should go show you my other rods. So this is a G Loomis GCX spinning rod. Pretty high-end rod. You don't need one like this for pink salmon fishing. Yeah. And yeah, hold on one sec. I'm gonna have to let this line out. Tons of pink salmon jumping around T10. That's good to know. I want to come back down here again and do another live stream so we can actually show fish during it. This is my spoon, by the way. You see it? Just a 1/4 ounce, no name brand spoon. Chrome with a bit of pink tape on it. Used to make these spoons, well, I assembled them for the last 20 or so years and caught lots of fish on them in a Tidal Fraser. Is it bad to use too heavy of a setup when targeting pinks? It's not bad. I mean, you'll catch fish with them for sure. Is it enjoyable? Not as much as using a lighter setup. So yeah, it depends on what you're looking for. It's right. If you're just looking for putting fish in the cooler, then no big deal. Yeah, come live stream from Vancouver Island beaches. Maybe we're heading to Vancouver Island in 2 weeks from now. I'm going to be filming on the Somas River with Murphy sport fishing and also heading somewhere else to do some beach fishing for coho salmon as well. Have I tried Glen Valley for pinks? Yes, I have many years ago, and it's great. You should go down there for sure. Do I think this season on the Veta would be good? It's always good on the Veta. I think so. Have I ever fished Little Wet Lake? No, I haven't, not yet. So what is T10? T10 is just outside the Fraser River mouth in the saltwater region. Lou Jensen 9.5 or 10.5 foot long rod, 10 to 20 pound test. A little bit on the heavy side, a little bit on the long side as well. Like a longer rod makes casting and retrieving lures very, very tiring. Do I still use prime lures? Yes, I do. I'm saving those for coho salmon. Why do I pull the drag? Oh, is someone noticed that? Good question. Why do I pull the drag after every cast? It's mostly just it's a habit to check the drag is right, just in case. So, when I do get a fish, I'm pretty sure that the drag is correct. That's why I do it. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised someone actually noticed that. Hey, look, sunset. Can we see that? Beautiful, beautiful evening. Just no fish, right? When is a good time targeting Chinook salmon? Depends on where you're going. If you're fishing on a Chilliwack, and the next few weeks should be very good for Chinook salmon. Do I use hopper patterns for trout? Yes, on the Thompson River. I've done that many times. How well has the camera lens you sold me suited for my needs? So you know what? That camera lens I got from you, was it the 17 to 24 mil? I can't remember. I was up in Central Coast, BC, about 2 weeks ago, and that lens came in really, really handy. Really enjoyed it. Thank you very much. What is the ideal length for shoreline, the length of the rod for shoreline fishing? So the episode coming out on Friday is going to answer that question for you. So definitely watch that. I do have a roe curing video on my channel. You can go check it out. So Power Pro braided 15-pound test, and I tie a section of Seagull fluorocarbon 15-pound test to the braided line before I tie the lure on. I use 15-pound instead of like 10-pound simply because I find that in the past when I use 10-pound test leader for the lure, I've snapped it the odd times. So want to be safe, so decided to go with 15-pound, and it's been working really well. So, hey, look, beautiful sunset. Can I change the setting? No? Hold on one sec. Oh. Oh well. Have I fished near Chase, BC? I have. I've fished a lake in that area before. Yeah, too many places to fish. Will pink spice straight braid? That's a good question. I think so in a Fraser because it's so dirty. I've have friends who use just straight braid directly to the lure. Hey, pink salmon just rolled. I'm gonna make a few more casts. So, okay, you know what? Let's keep the chat going a little bit longer. I'm gonna make a few more casts. Okay, let's fish. Less talking, fish. Might as well. We've been streaming for 90 minutes now. Might as well keep going until dark. All right. Still feels fishy. Okay, keep the questions coming. I'll answer some more. It's almost dark, so. You guys can't see it, but it's beautiful sunset right in front of me right now. Also because how smoky it is, it's beautiful. I've caught these fish all the way until when it's almost pitch dark. Just trying to be optimistic. But yeah, the odd fish is still rolling here and there. I wasn't gonna fish, but then I saw one surface pretty good right beside me. Might get my liner. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do one more cast after this one, and then we'll end this. We end the stream. Okay. Okay, last one. Let's make it count. Yeah. Pinky, pinky, pinky. Okay, it's not gonna happen tonight. Okay, that's it. Show's over. Yeah, I wasn't really expecting us to catch anything tonight, but at least I got to answer your questions because I've been getting so many DMs. Been getting like 50 to 100 DMs per day, and really tough to keep up. So, okay, that's pretty much it. I want to show you one more thing. Okay, let's go up here. So what I was doing today was I was making the episode earlier today actually. So I brought all these rods, and they're all different, and different lengths, and different action, and different ratings, and different price points as well. So I wanted to catch one fish per rod to show you how they all feel. And this episode is going to come out on Friday, so you get to watch that coming up on Friday. And yeah, just something different. And that's it. I'm tired. I'm going to go home. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following. There's still 215 people watching here, which is mind-blowing. Why would you want to watch me getting skunked? And thanks for watching all the other videos. Thanks for all the comments, all the positive feedbacks. Really appreciate it. And yeah, And I look forward to see you again, hopefully in another live stream when we actually be catching fish. So good luck fishing.